So I want to make a quick video just for you guys, and I want to talk about crippling fear. So, fear is a very, very unserving emotion, right? While it's necessary because we are meant to experience all emotions, to allow it to paralyze you from moving ahead in your plans in your life is unserving. It is unserving. Last night, I did my first live of 2024. And y'all, when I tell you the anxiety and the fear, the nervousness that I had before doing this live was unreal. It's not like I've never done lives before. I've gotten in front of hundreds of people and did whole speeches that I wrote. But it was the fear of being rejected, the fear of being not accepted. That's kind of the same thing. The fear of not being perfect or imperfection. The fear of my own anxiety of not being overcritical of myself. There was a lot of fear sitting there. Of course, the best thing that you can do with fear is to face it, right? When you allow or fear to be crippling, you allow it to take you away from all of your dreams, all of your desires. You don't take that leap of faith. You don't step out and just see what happens. And when you do that, you're living in a shell of all this potential that's locked in, and you're not really fully living. After I did my live last night, I felt empowered. Not because of the live or anything like that. You know, everybody have their small wins, and that was a win for me because I was so afraid and overcritical of myself. And when I did it, the empowerment within me was, I can do any fucking thing I set my mind to. Fear is not a factor or a focus in my life. And that's what happens when you overcome fear. You find that while it's an emotion that you honor, you recognize, you find out that it's not as important as you thought it was in that moment when you had those heightened senses from the fear. Yeah, it meant something in that moment, but afterward, especially if you're working in your gift, y'all, it actually flows. Immediately after I turned that camera on, even with all the distractions and things that I thought wasn't going right, which it went perfectly. It actually went perfectly. Even with all of that, the fear just subsided immediately. It just went away immediately. And what I learned is now it's time for me to graduate from just making videos to making lives where I can connect in real time with the people who I'm speaking with, and just elevate. It's an amazing feeling. And after I finished my life, y'all, I was just in bliss. I was in bliss. I was in accomplishment. I felt, I don't know, just extremely and overwhelmingly high vibrational. So I say all that to tell you this. If you watch this video, fear is uncompromising. Fear is crippling. It doesn't play fair, right? While it's an emotion that we honor and experience, you cannot let it stop you. You cannot let it freeze you. You cannot let it control you. And you cannot let fear be your focus. You're going to be afraid. It's a natural emotion that we have adapted to as humans. We weren't born with fear. We were only born with love and acceptance. But we adapted this emotion like all the other ones, and it's okay to honor it, but do not let it stop you. Overcome that shit. Because at the end of the day, everything that you desire, everything that is good, everything that is wholesome, everything that is wellness, everything that is complete is on the other side of that fear. That fear that you must face in order to get to that other side. So I really hope that this resonated with somebody. Everybody wrestle with fears. Every single person. The difference between people like me and people who are allow fear to paralyze them is they just don't go out and do it. They come up with excuses. They procrastinate, and they just sit in that fear. Never sit in low vibrational emotion. Never. Okay? So if you were thinking about starting something, if you wanted to do something, take this as a sign. Do it today. Do it now. Do it right now. And see what happens. See how the universe opens up doors and opportunities for you. All right. So again, I hope that resonated with somebody. Self-preservation, first law of nature, love yourself. And then remember to lead with your heart chakra, and everything else will soon follow, y'all. Peace.